Welcome back to another day in the life of a fence contractor. Today we are working on building a about 550 feet of continuous fence. We're starting on posts. This project is near Red Lodge, Montana. Pretty remote. It's on an unmaintained road with a couple of sharp curves to get into the place. Hence the little short old trailer because can't get in there with my big one. So it's about twice the work to get loaded and unloaded and whatnot. I call this the peasant trailer because I have to manually flip the ramps and manually run the jack, and I hate that, especially after having the good one. Um, it's I've had this trailer about since I started the business about 11, 12 years ago, I guess, and it's been a pretty nice trailer, but it's about wore out. It doesn't track quite straight. It needs axle alignments. It's pretty bad, but it works and it gets the job done for something like this. Getting this old Kubota started up, it's a little 45 horsepower Kubota diesel out of a Jacobson lawnmower. And it's a little underpowered and a little cold blooded because it's moving a lot of hydraulic fluid when it starts everything. Machine weighs in around 9,000 pounds, so it needs two chains and the bucket blade, and boom, tied. And I'm pretty good about that. I get it close. Um, but when I get it upgraded, it'll have to take four chains, but there won't be a bucket and blade because I don't think I need them. There'll be probably a front 3-point hitch, hopefully, so I can run some pallet forks if I need to, just load and unload in the trailer. But yeah, or we'll go from there. Won't be perfect, obviously. Unloading this machine, tilting the mast. We're on a slight downhill with the trailer, so the mast doesn't, the weight doesn't want to roll down very fast. Once it starts moving, it starts to go usually, but I have to get it there. As soon as I can pick it up a little bit, it goes. Um, you got to be real careful on that stage, or you'll take the cable off the pulleys, which is no fun. Which technically it's a wire rope. Technically, it's a synthetic winch line that I use to pick that thing up. I use synthetic winch line over cable because I believe it to be more flexible, faster, but the main reason is it's safer. Is when it breaks, it doesn't have a whip and it doesn't hurt. Nice transition there. I didn't plan. Machine kind of fell. Starting on the pull post here to get a straight line. A little bit about this project. It is, like I say, it is Red Lodge, Montana, um, and it is rocky, and it is probably 80% rock underground. Fist size and larger. Maybe that might be an exaggeration here, but it's very rocky. Um, and it's river cobble, which is hard to get a straight post in. It's hard to auger. It's probably one of the nastiest soils to work with. In fact, I would say that solid sandstone is easier if you have the right auger bits because it just gets out of the way. This stuff just falls in your hole and it just grinds and it's nasty. Um, yeah, I'd rather work with solid granite, or not necessarily granite, but sandstone, limestone, because you can drill a 3-inch diameter hole in that and have a 3-inch diameter hole. To get a 6-inch diameter hole in this, you're drilling a hole that's 3 foot wide at the top, and you're lucky to get it to depth. Um, or so the audio didn't fully turn out on this, um, hence the voiceover and no sound. Just imagine 800-pound block of steel hitting another piece of steel for a few hours and some diesel in the background. That's about what it sounds like. And hydraulic noise, lots of hydraulic noise. Um, so this is continuous fence, so it's 10-foot post spacing and 2 and 7/8 post. Typically, this is a little different, but just doing something a little different in this one. Not sure I like it, but it was what the customer had and wanted. So we did it. Normally I don't use customer supplied material, but this was a referral from a good customer, so we made an exception. Hopefully it all turns out well. Um, I like to use wire for string line because it just, yeah, it doesn't stretch like string does. I had to go drive the machine to the other end to put in a pull post, and this is one of the problems with this machine is it just takes forever, and even crossing this little ditch is kind of a hassle. Hence the new track base that I got coming in the spring will solve this issue very quickly. I'll be able to just drive over this like it's not even there. Um, Base of progress, I guess. Um, all these rocks won't be an issue. Um, Driving our second post here, I believe. You'll watch, and eventually I will hit a rock, and it will stop going in so easy. The locator's leaving in the background. Kind of jumped the gun, but it happens. Uh, Making sure everything is plumb and square and true, and as best we can get it. Um, Here you can tell I hit a rock because it went down 2 inches instead of 4. Um, and then it kind of moved out of the way right here um, until you hit another rock. And the beautiful thing about when you've driven as many posts as I have is you can kind of read the ground and kind of know what's going on. You can almost tell where utilities are. Still need to call that 811 locate. But yeah, so I look at this machine and I see all of its flaws. I see it for what it is. It's been an amazing machine. And it's going to hurt a little bit this winter when I cut it up to make the next one. The first few cuts probably will be easy, but when I make the cut or remove the part, that makes me have to haul it, pull it out of the garage with a tractor. That part's going to be hard um, because it will never be a post driver again. And this thing is kind of, it's been a companion and it's built every fence for the last 4 or 5 years. And I know it like nothing else, nobody else. But, you know, to get better, sometimes things are hard. Sometimes things are rough. Sometimes there's pain involved. Sometimes there's tears. Um, but that's forward progress and the betterment of ourselves. And then we get more efficient and we get better at what we do. Sometimes it hurts. In case you're curious, I'm not really talking about the post driver right now. I'm talking about ourselves. Um, sometimes improvements aren't easy. Sometimes life isn't easy, and we have to roll with it. And when it gets tough, get going because, um, yeah, life isn't all roses and sunshine and unicorns, as I like to call it. But there's some tough times. And this machine's going to go through a tough time this winter when it's sitting in the barn getting cut to crap and getting better. But come spring, it's going to be twice the machine it was. It's going to have about 10 less hydraulic hoses leading from the operator station to the machine, which is 10 less hoses that get caught on stuff, which is those are the hoses that get caught the most because they go the farthest. A lot of those hoses will get revamped and reworked to where they're safer and less likely to get pinched, which will be a huge improvement. Sometimes you have to take a step back to take a step forward. Yes, the post is loose. I will be packing some sand around it, dry sand around it. before it's all said and done so that it tightens up, and the continuous fence will help it to tighten up as well. It's a system, not an individual post. And once, like I say, a couple of seasons of ground movement, it'll be tighter and tight. Um, Driving posts in the snow is fencing in the snow is never the greatest thing. I mean, it's fun. It's different. This is the first time I have fenced in a snowstorm in probably, oh goodness, 5 or 6 years. 4 years. It might be longer, but the last 3 winters I worked for MGT plowing snow, and I'm no longer doing that. Um, I was working one day and I really feel I heard God say, "Don't go back to the DOT." And I didn't want to because, man, that's a good steady income all winter long. I fought it, called my wife, and she said, "Okay, go for it." And then I called another friend and told him what's going on, Mr. Tony Thornton. If you know him, you know him. Um, and he said, "Yeah, that's what you need to do." So I did it, and when I told him at the DOT I wasn't coming back, um, the phone started ringing, and it's nothing been huge yet, but it's kept our bills paid, and it's something. So it's painful to follow Christ, but it's well worth it. The fact that it's almost 8 a.m. and I'm still sitting here at home working on a video uh, is evidence of that. I mean, I'm kind of procrastinating, hoping it'll warm up a little bit, but here I am. We're trying to get our line as best we can, because the straighter our posts are, the better our fence, and I'll straighten them a little bit, and I call it post production, but really it's when I dress it, tweak everything perfect to try and get them as close as possible. In hard clay, this really isn't an issue with the post moving because once they're set, they're set. But this river cobble ground kind of has a mind of its own, and then those posts are just gonna go. So a little bit more about the machine. For those of you who are curious, that's an 800-pound block of steel that I made, and it falls at basically the speed of gravity, and at a full 10-foot whack with its maximum acceleration, which is as much as that machine can do, it's 120,000 foot-pounds of force, and it'll mess you up if you get anything in there. Shoot, 2 inches will mess you up, probably break your arm. But so I'm very respectful of it, keep my distance as best I can, and inspect it quite often to make sure it's going to stay. It's lifted with that cylinder and 6 pulleys, 5 pulleys, I guess now. And those 5 pulleys allow me to transfer about 18 inches of hydraulic stroke, 10 foot of lift. That also means I don't have to move a ton of fluid to make the thing drop fast. So it can all goes through a 21 GPM valve right now. It's probably going to get upgraded to a 30 just because I need new valves, so it might as well buy a bigger one. You can tell I hit a rock, and that's about all she's going to go, I believe. If you watch the plate in the background, you can kind of see it's still going down, and that's sometimes all you can really tell. Um, it's cold and wet, so tools, everything takes more time in conditions like this, but what I can do, head into our next post. I can get that tightened up to where it don't flop so bad. On the next one, it'll really save some time and just feel a lot safer. Normally, I would have laid out all these posts beforehand, but it was snowing and I didn't want to lose them under the snow, so I left them in piles and I did a little more walking. The next machine will be able to handle all these posts on the machine itself, which will be a huge time saver, because I won't hardly have to walk. So it'd save me half a day or a couple hours on this project at least. Um, Squared everything up. So yeah, so this is the day in the life of a fence contractor in the middle of winter. Well, I guess it's not the middle, early winter. It's beginning of December, and fencing away. Slow going, but I'm thankful for the work. And I thought y'all might enjoy kind of seeing what a day looks like. Um, some people, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, so we'll mention it again. But yes, the breaker style driver is a lot faster in conditions like this. The breaker style requires 2 people. And if you count the people in the video, and you can count to 1, you'll find out how many I have on a consistent basis. So I use a drop weight, walk beside. You can use a breaker style with a remote, but I'm just not convinced it's the way to go. I think a breaker on a mast might be the way to go, and I might upgrade to that at some point in the future because of the fence styles that I do. But this works for now, and we do what we do. I'd like to try a breaker someday, but we'll see. Um, I might have a line on one, um, just as a hey, let's try this. Weather conditions this day were about 31, 32 degrees, maybe even a little above freezing, and snowing and wet. Um, Trying to stay warm, I wasn't bad until I stopped that day, and then I got cold. It took me a good 20, 30 minutes to warm up. Um, there's a lot going on there that I just can't explain. I couldn't tell you what each lever does right now, but I know what each lever does. Um, Machine needs a lot of winter repairs that are coming here shortly, um, just to get back up to where it should be. Um, it needs there's a lot of slop in there that you shouldn't be there. You gotta take it apart and fix it. Just a time-consuming process sometimes, though. So it kind of gets ignored because you can still build with it like it sits. Isn't the snow beautiful? Um, One thing that I have to be aware of that a lot of people don't is this snowstorm, as beautiful as that snow is falling straight down and it's beautiful, the wind kicks up, it's 0 to I kill you in just a few minutes. So I'm always conscious of the weather. I mean, this could go from nothing to a ground blizzard. I know this would be a ground blizzard in minutes if the wind kicked up, because a 50-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the middle of nowhere is nothing. And then with 50-mile-an-hour wind and snow on the ground, you can't see jack. It's So I'm always careful about winter work, and if the wind kicks up and there's no other ground, especially on a job site like this, where it's easy to get snowed in, um, you get out of dodge if the wind comes. Um, I have access to the cabin here if I needed it. I don't want to, but it'd be better than sitting all night in the truck. Um, we carry enough clothes and food for a couple of days of being snowed in on a project like this. It's just smart. It wouldn't be fun a couple of days, but I could stay warm and I could stay alive and I'd stay hydrated. I'd probably have to eat some snow and whatnot, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Um, Almost to depth here. Heading on to the next post, trying to watch the weather, see what's coming. Um, Trying to get these posts squared up and tight is a big battle, like I say, in this ground, but it's doable. Um, I sometimes don't have very good focus, if you can't tell, but I'm checking to make sure everything's right because I'd rather have it right than have to do it twice. The old saying, if you don't have time to do it right, how are you going to find time to do it twice? Um, these posts kind of kick sometimes. We're just making our line look as best as possible. Um, so this is the day in the life of a fence contractor in snow fencing. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all, everybody can serve as a good example or a bad example. Um, but no, this machine should be more efficient in the spring, so we're hoping. Um, that's it. Got a couple more minutes, which I'll let you watch if you're so inclined. If not, um, don't. But hey, like, subscribe, comment. I don't care. Um, but it helps the algorithm and helps me make more videos, and hopefully we'll get to better videos here as we learn tech and how to make a video, because this is completely green to me. I mean, I made a few videos, but nothing on the perfect caliber. So here we are. This post is going to the ground. Beautiful, by the way. Okay, y'all have a good day. Keep fencing, keep safe, keep warm. Have a good day.